Hi everyone, thanks for joining us. I'm Ariel Orsuto. The 2021-22 season was one for the history books for Colorado Avalanche, capped off by the third Stanley Cup championship in franchise history. Over the next half hour, we'll look back on the Avs postseason run all the way to the raising of the banner at Ball Arena. Of course, before we can get to the Stanley Cup finals, we have to see how the Avs got there in the first place. Four games away from ultimate glory, but it wouldn't be an easy task to accomplish. The two-time defending champion Tampa Bay Lightning were coming into town thirsty for a three-peat. Game one was an overtime thriller with an Andre Burakovsky sending Ball Arena into a frenzy. One down, three to go. The Avs offense showed out in game one with 4 goals, and it would only get better. We'll relive the offensive explosion that was game two right after this. Welcome back. The Avs were no strangers to scoring goals in the 2022 playoffs, but that was never more apparent than in Game 2 when they dropped 7 goals on the Lightning. When your team scores 7, you don't necessarily need to have great night in net, but Darcy Kuemper contributed a shutout of his own, and the Avs found themselves up 2-0 in the series. The Avs were just 2 games away, but they had to go to Tampa, and winning in Amalie Arena wouldn't be easy. They found that out the hard way in Game 3 as the Lightning's offense finally showed up.
You know, they're fast and desperate, and we knew that going into it that we were going to expect them to be coming out hard here at home, kind of backs against the wall and being desperate. But, you know, I thought we did, like I said, I thought we did some really good things, and we had to clean some up in our zone.
You know, I think that's what we've learned. You know, just like Tampa, they obviously didn't hang their head on losing to us in Game 2, and we're not going to do the same tonight.
Mikko, can you bring us into the locker room right afterward, and what was the vibe like? Were you talking to anybody? Can you bring us into that message?
Chatter. It was chatter right away. Nobody was silent after we went to the locker room after the game. You know, it's not easy to beat Tampa 3 in a row. We got to move on and take some positives, you know.
One of the big things is I thought, not that we didn't compete, because I liked some of our compete tonight, some of the things we did, but I think we had an advantage when it came to the competitive spirit in Game 1 and Game 2, and tonight they had it. They played with a little bit more desperation.
2 games for the Avalanche, 1 for the Lightning. A pivotal Game 4 that could either send the series back to Denver all tied up, or with the Avs on a precipice of a title. Naturally, the game went to overtime, and much to the Lightning's chagrin, Nazem Kadri was once again there to make the difference.
You know, he was kind of swimming in the crease, and I thought he might have had it, so it was certainly a few seconds of confusion there, and then, you know, I just saw everybody kind of bull rush the ice, and that's when I knew it was confirmed.
He delivers it, you know, when we need him to deliver, and kind of shows you the. I mean, it's a Stanley Cup Finals, you know. He's going to go out there and give it his all, and he has the ability to help you win hockey games in moments like that.
It's hard for me. This is going to be hard for me to speak. I'm going to have to speak. I'll speak with you tomorrow. You're going to see what I mean when you see the winning goal. And my heart breaks for the players because we probably still should be playing.
And I'm not quite sure, you know, what he's thinking, why it shouldn't have counted. I mean, that kind of confuses me a little bit. You know, the puck hit the back of the net. End of story. So not sure why you'd say that.
3 chances to win 1 more game and reach hockey immortality. We'll reminisce over the moment they became champions, coming up next. One more win. The Avs came back home with a 3-1 series lead and the chance to raise the Stanley Cup on home ice. It would have been a storybook ending, but the Lightning had other plans. Back to Tampa we go for another shot at winning the title. Luckily for the Avs, this was familiar territory. They clinched every single playoff series on the road and would do so again in the biggest game of the entire season. Here's the moment your Colorado Avalanche became Stanley Cup champions for the third time. There's no feeling quite like it. The Avs would ride that high for months, and so would their fans. Remember how the parade felt? Well, if you don't, you can experience it all right after this. Welcome back. It was a party like no other. Championship parades are what every fan hopes for, and the Avs faithful showed out big time. Thousands lined the street of downtown Denver and Civic Center Park to celebrate their team. Here's some of the best moments from a day many will never forget.
I'm going to try not to get emotional, but I already am. I love you guys. Love you.
My ninth year, I finally won something, I guess, but no, we're super lucky to have the group we have. I know it's super cliche, but
first of all, I'm going to say sorry that I lost my ability to speak any English after the parade. It was a tough parade for me and Lecky.
Avs fans were loud and proud that day. Seeing all that support meant the world to the team, and they made sure to share that love back to the fans. It was a summer to remember for the Avs players and coaches as each one got a day with the cup. Lord Stanley punched its passport across multiple continents, had food and drinks in its bowl, heck, it even hosted a baptism. Here's some of the best moments of those celebrations. After an off season of celebrations, it was finally on to the next season, but there was still one thing left to do: raise the championship banner at Ball Arena, forever immortalizing that team as Stanley Cup champions. Of course, the celebration couldn't be complete without the championship rings. One of the biggest perks of winning a title, they're always incredibly designed, covered with diamonds and other gems. The Avs rings are certainly no exception to that. It will be something to see them add another ring this year. That's the end of our look back at the Avs Stanley Cup run. Thanks for taking a trip down memory lane with us. Championship teams are special, and the 2021-2022 Avalanche certainly will not be forgotten anytime soon here in Colorado. They reached hockey immortality, and above all else, they found a way. For 9 News, I'm Ariel Orsuto.